Hey guys, I'm RozaldVaneGAME and welcome back to another episode of Eliza. So, in the last episode, we basically did we were meeting with Ray, but then for some reason, when it cut from Ray to, I guess, the next chapter, aka the next day, we ended up in Soren's apartment space, which I was surprised that we ended up in here, but so far nothing bad happened, so that's pretty good. I guess that's pretty good. So let's continue it. I don't think there was anything much beyond that, and also the fact that the dude working at the Eliza asked us about the background behind why Eliza became Eliza and such. So yeah. Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
Do I really get it?
I'm not sure that I do. You don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that. Because, yeah, so far Soren is making a tech that's used for mental health to help them kind of escape reality. But in the case that it's escaping reality, it's making that escapism become more of itself a reality. So it's becoming two different realities, and that's going to cause people to go insane because people want that real, true fantasy to be reality.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing.
Also, the rain just stopped making sound effects in the ambient background. I just realized that. I was confused. I was like, did the game crash? I was like, I can't hear it.
I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Mental health, experience. You're older than me. Why don't you know the experience for that reason?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, so something went down. I still don't know what happened to Damien, and I still don't know what happened to Evelyn. I don't know. Like, the mystery's still there. It's just so freaking, like, annoying because they keep mentioning it, and I was just like, what happened to the two?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight, and now you're trying to blame me for Damien.
Did Damien just commit suicide, and Evelyn was the one to sort of be blamed, quote unquote?
Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one.
Which is fine. That's how everyone is in these days. Like, every risky idea or some kind of idea in general is considered... It's considered with people who hear about it as skepticism. Like, that's how it is. Everything in the world is skeptical. Like, everything that you come into will always be a skeptical thought. Like, everyone has doubt. Like, some small amount or some huge amount of skepticism and also doubt in what they're doing. Like, is it right or wrong?
I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights.
Fair.
Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too.
I don't think being a leader is an excuse that you should bring up. Because being a leader means you actually are responsible for those things. You're not actually doing the hard labor that some of the people at the lower end are doing. Like you aren't doing things physically or all the menial tasks. Those ended up being with other people who you work with. Because they trust you to lead the group, get everybody's mind together, but also kind of just like handle all the executive problems or all the problems that are being dealt outside of and above of their payroll or above their sort of job of focusing on creating good content or good things or good products and stuff like that.
Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project.
Honestly, I don't think she's she cares about why the project got killed. She wants to know what happened to Damien. Bro, he's trying to dodge the question.
And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing. A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there.
Oh, did he actually overwork to death? Like, Damien overworked himself to death? Burnout? Or not burnout, but maybe crunch, I would say. Like, he like, burned out, crunched, and also, like, overworked himself out.
At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before.
Oh, that's... that's, like... A part of me say that a part of this statement, I'll say, is very disagreeable. And that is, that guy is a hard worker. He's very passionate. But I disagree with that because... I partially disagree with that because he is passionate, yes, but that's not worth the passion. Like, you shouldn't be that obsessive about it. It becomes an obsession rather than a passionate thing. But holy hell, that's dangerous.
Then, one morning, I got in and...
He's still wearing the same shirt and collapsed.
Evelyn, please.
Is that what triggered Evelyn to leave the job and the industry entirely?
I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't.
So Evelyn was actually the one who found Damien's dead body. So I'm glad nothing happened to Evelyn. Earlier on, my suspicion was like, oh, something like bad happened, like socially or physically or something to Evelyn. But it's a mental trauma that happened. And that is... Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Considering how she's there to go into the industry to work. Yeah, like, seeing a dead body is one thing. But going to work, where people shouldn't be dying at your workplace, unless it's some accident, tragic accident, or something stupid that somebody else is doing that goes into it and try to do stupid stuff there that causes a death. Like, none of that out of the way, but more like it's self-harm is much more traumatic because you realize that that person could have been you. Or you could end up the same way if you just was neglecting yourself that harshly in this workspace. So I see why she took a 3-year break, because that really stuck with her for a long time, dude. Oh.
But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it.
Honestly, don't put blame on other people. I think Soren should have also not put blame on other people. Instead, he should have blamed himself and blamed everyone around it as well. But I don't know why you would question Evelyn about that. You should have said, you should have done the same just like I had. Like, to encourage him not to stay there for all-nighters.
None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture.
That's the worst of the culture, honestly.
There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
And that's the sucky part. Tech industry does encourage this kind of thing. And I think that even gaming industry has that issue as well. I wouldn't say that I know for exact, or I don't have any fingers to point anywhere. Like, I don't have any fingers to point anywhere. I don't have any fingers to point at in terms of, like, who I should say, like, needs to look at this and think about it. But whatever I will say is that I hope nobody will go through this. That's all I want to say. If any person who goes through that is at a point where they're just, like, there almost every day in a way that, you know, you feel trapped or you feel like it's just torturing you in a sense, then I think you should just take a break or just leave for the better of yourself. I think that's where we as ourselves would know and understand when But sometimes people don't notice it because they just don't pay attention. Just too much into the work.
Sitting in one place for too long.
Like I am now, recording the videos.
Chronic stress.
True.
Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien.
But for a moment there, Evelyn sounded like Eliza. That was weird. That was really weird to me. Chronic illness or chronic stress, sitting there in the same spot for too long. That kind of sounds like Eliza speaking rather than Evelyn, I feel like, the way she said that.
He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back.
But thinking about it and talking about it will kind of flatten the sort of like issues that we're seeing here. Like constantly talking about it, bringing it up, telling the people in the workspace to kind of respect others for that and also help them respect themselves is another as well.
Nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism. It happened, and now we have to move on.
There's no such thing as moving on. It's always call for action, call for changes to be made. That's what's important, not just leaving it in the past and moving on, because that's not going to change a lot, and that's going to constantly have more people like that die to those situations, and that's the point of why she's bringing it up.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time.
And it could go on forever.
But you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn.
A secret, oh God.
I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic.
Fair.
But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself.
Huh?
I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in.
That's because you made those dumb choices, obviously. Not because you want to escape it, but because you made those choices to make yourself in that position.
I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway.
Yikes.
I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist.
Yeah, he doesn't want to bring his suffering to be... He doesn't want his suffering to end in a place where every other person would end up depressed and then committing suicide, which is not a great thing. I hate the fact that that's considered the traditional way. That's the worst. But I think that it's a good way to kind of like pursue a technology that he believes is right. But I think it will not work out because of the consequences it gives to someone who takes too much of an advantage of it, I would say. But then again, well, there's got to be a lot of problems and test cases that needs to happen to make this a semi-perfect tool to help somebody calm down.
The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
Soren, are you okay? I don't know, these both are good points. I'd say this.
That's not a good motivation.
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Rainer, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that.
Sure. But you still don't acknowledge your cockiness when you're out in the open.
So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Oh, it's nighttime still. Okay, so we went from Ray to Soren's place in the same night.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Yeah, so far I'd say that conversation was very healthy for both individuals, because we both know, or we both got to admit things, but also get to know Soren better. I think that was a good conversation to kind of get to open up Soren a little bit, and I like that. I mean, I didn't want to acknowledge him as just the cocky dude, but I'm kind of happy that the narrative direction of that was to bring the player to kind of acknowledge that he's not just being cocky for a good reason. He just can't get over his cockiness, but at the same time, his cockiness is to be a facade of his depression, his screw up nature of his personality and everything. So it's kind of cool. It's pretty interesting. Somehow that conversation ended up being very draining. Is the promise of a new technology really all that keeps him going? Maybe. Maybe not. Different individuals on the train, I see. Some more stuff. I think I've seen this person before. We must have similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days, it feels like the whole city does. The whole city works for Skanda. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me a glimpse of the screen. It's cat video. Oh, the guy just uses the cat video to calm down. Security. Security. I'm playing. I'm just like clicking on the security camera up there. Right. Proxy first. These are longer reads. I hate it. Hate that there's so much to this, but it's like it's important. I feel like to kind of get to get to know the world a bit better. And I think most of my time is reading this, but also adding my 2 cents to some things, which kind of sucks. That's why the series is a little longer. But it's like it's important, I think, in terms of trying to understand the world better for myself, I guess, and for some others who are along the ride with me in this episode or in this series. So. Yeah, anyways. Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. Oh. Mark is leaving. Okay. What can I say? It's an end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in just 2 decades is mind-boggling. 2 decades, so this is 20 years? Mind-boggling, to say the least. I miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember, the insane BlackBerry rambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of the internal docs from his garage? The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit? Old Skanda hands also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction, times when it seemed to me what the very clear, obviously correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions, and thought everyone else here did too. But as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style than I am used to. In regards to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for everyone, and best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior, Mark. Oh! I just realized who Mark was. I just realized. Mark was the guy we did the whole, wow. Mark was the guy we did the 2 episodes ago with Eliza, because we interviewed him and he was so, not cocky, but like he was so dead set in believing that he's the one who is in the right, while everyone else was not agreeing with him anymore. Like, he started kind of like losing touch with his company, with Skanda. That's amazing. I can't believe that they actually just let him off. Like, just let him go. Wait. Oh, there's a new background. Oh, I love this one. This one's cool. There's no need to rush. It's like Hong Kong, maybe? Hong Kong, China. Like the whole part of this kind of reminds me of that. Or it could be Japan. Because I know these boats are... Yeah, in Japan they have these kind of boats. Because the only time I remember seeing this kind of boat was through Yakuza, where they did the Sotenbori, or Osaka. They have these traditional boats with the lanterns, red lanterns and stuff like that, or the Japanese lanterns and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's a subway train in the back. That's really nice. Alright, Swiftman. Contractor Experience Team, how are we doing? Hello, at Skanda, we continue to strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey this group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda and the contract proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, please simply reply to this message. Thanks, Contractor Experience Team. I don't think that matters anyways, but whatever. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, we still got time. We got like 10 minutes, so... Time to get to work. Yeah, let's kind of rush through this person's... Let's rush through this client, at the very least. Oh, it's this dude again. I forgot this guy comes up. Or this guy... Yeah, I kind of accidentally found out that this guy comes back later because I wanted to know. I was looking at the full-on playthrough, like how much it takes for me to get to the end, and I was like, this guy is technically around the halfway point through the game. Like chapter 3 here is like the halfway point of the game. I mean, I'm taking my sweet ass time, but hey, anyways.
Hello, Haruman.
Yes. We can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that.
I like how Evelyn is like smiling because she's just like surprised that he came back for this.
What brings you here today?
Did he actually did the move that we expected him to? Like just talk to the girl?
It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this guy.
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here.
Really?
A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked, and then everything just happened.
Wow.
Like a train, following tracks laid out for it years ago. Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen?
I am just surprised. I thought he was just like, oh, we went out a night. Like, my expectation was they went out for dinner and just had a great conversation. But instead, they had a great conversation in the library and just went at it. Oh my god, that's crazy, though.
And also, why did it happen?
You asked me like I know what happened with your conversation.
I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person?
But why is he considering this wrong? Like, sleeping with her is a wrong thing?
I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what.
I mean, you can ask it to her, technically. That's the only way you can kind of confirm it.
It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what?
Talk about it with her, not us.
I'm actually more frightened now than I was before.
I mean, that's the weird thing, is like sleeping with someone sometimes is considered like more intimacy. Like you're like getting into that huge intimacy kind of thing. But I personally don't know. I actually have not been in that situation before, so I can't say for sure.
I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do?
I'd recommend, yeah, talking to her.
What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
What's funny is that he and her are very close together because they're in the same sort of like university program, so they wouldn't be too far apart a lot of the times. So I don't think it's going to be wrong to just talk to her in person or text her in general.
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Oof.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right?
Yeah.
In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem, a morning after poem.
Ooh, I didn't know he was very using a different country's culture to kind of emphasize what his actions could be.
Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble.
It's not bad.
Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what a stat it is right now. There's another problem too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz?
Wait, what? Did he have another girlfriend on the side?
Wait. Of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her.
Wait, he had a girlfriend all this time?
Did I mention this last time? I have
No.
a sort of girlfriend.
Whoa, this guy's cheating on his girlfriend? Oh my god. I was like, at first, I was like, oh, this is a great relationship. But he just twisted around and realizes that, oh wait, I have a girlfriend. I'm just, wow, this guy just like, what?
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment.
Yes, you just did, buddy. That's the hard part, is that sometimes people just felt in the moment when, even though they know inherently that they're already in a relationship, some people just get pulled and sucked in, and they're just like, I guess it comes down to being naive to a point where they get into a tricky relationship afterwards because of the fact that they did something wrong to that relationship. I don't know. I feel like he needs to explain to Liz what happened and then have to resolve with Liz in general.
Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and... I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz.
Then break up with Liz. That's how you're gonna have to do it. There's no harm in leaving leaving the relationship, because it's gonna hurt her further, hurt Liz further. Unless in some miracle, Sylvia and Liz like know about the relationship and it's, like, I don't know, turn into an open relationship, which can happen. Like, some people actually have that kind of thing going on in life where they're in an open relationship. But even then, that's kind of like a scummy thing to do since you didn't like talk to Liz first about anything here.
I'm not sure that's possible though, right?
No.
I can't believe this. I got what I wanted and it ruined my life. What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this.
Yeah.
I ruined it. Ruined everything.
But I don't think he should beat himself up for it. He should try to reevaluate what he did and figure out the right necessary actions. But I think a lot of communication is very much needed between all three individuals.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Is this the challenge?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now.
Oof.
It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her.
Oh no, this guy's way into this relationship with Sylvia.
You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you?
How dare you, buddy?
I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind.
Can't.
My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it.
Because he finally realized he's one of them now.
Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now?
You're one of them.
Oh, yes. I get it. Oh, I understand it now.
The heat of the moment took over and rushed into their brain, and now they cannot get out of that hanging feeling of it. This reminds me of Scott Pilgrim in a weird way, but that's like, yeah, like that's the story where I just kind of feel like it's that weird, tricky relationship that this guy needs to understand to kind of grow out of it, I guess. But we'll see.
So much pain.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate?
I mean, you can challenge it.
Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I?
Yeah.
I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her.
Oof.
I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything.
Bro, just leave Liz. If you're so obsessed and interested in Sylvia. Well, not obsessed, but I feel like he is a little bit obsessed with Sylvia. But if you're so inclined about Sylvia being, like, your next thing in life, then just do that, damn it, and just leave Liz. Because you literally already ruined it to begin with. You can't just repair a relationship after that moment has happened, you know? Actions have consequences, bro. Come on.
If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this.
No, you cannot.
It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon.
I will say no, he's not going to make it.
Even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below.
Oof.
Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again.
This guy's way too dramatic here.
Oh, sweet, dark death.
It sounds like a Shakespeare poem, a Shakespeare play right out of this. My goodness.
Harriman, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands.
I've seen that freaking name before.
It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth.
I accidentally cut his previous statement off by accident.
Reverting to my childhood, the state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
I like how he acknowledges that the Meadowlands is definitely something that is necessary for him to calm down again.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
Oh. I mean, to be fair, I'm hoping that he turns out alright. Like, I understand cheating is a bad thing, but, like, knowing and owning that mistake that he... Well, not owning, but knowing that mistake, he's trying to figure out a way to fix that mistake. But obviously, cheating is cheating, and it's already bad, like, really bad already at this point.
We hope to see you back soon, Harriman. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
I really like being able to see what Harmon is up to. I mean, he's been pretty chill. 3 for the first time ever. Sympathetic. Level 4. Not 5. I'm about to say 5 for some reason. I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that come through here. Oh, Soren. Evelyn. Hey. Just closed the next round of funding. Asia's Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Congrats, I guess. Congratulations. Thanks. Of all the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. That it's going to go far, really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Raynor? Really, buddy? Soren, come on, just let me be whatever I do. I don't know what I want to do. Really? So that's the option we get only? Only wants us to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1? 5? 2.3? 5 out of what? 5 out of what? See? It's ridiculous. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it too. Imagine what you could do with the corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? You can just be a little bit like a rude person. I'll just say yes. I don't want to be rude to him. Okay. Heading into another meeting, chat with you later. I feel like the Asian Pacific thing that he's mentioning is probably the strings that Rainer is pulling onto the project's funding. And I think that that's a bad thing, is that he's letting Rainer kind of get control over his project here in a sense. But who knows? We'll find out if that actually is the case in a later episode. So thank you guys for watching. This will be it for me and Eliza for now. Next episode, we'll go ahead and meet up with the next client. I believe I know who it is, again, by accident, because I was skimming through the video of how long it takes to beat this game. I mean, we're at least at the halfway point. The game shouldn't have been this long, but I extended it because I read literally all the emails and news cycle stuff in the apps on the phone, and then I've spent some time playing the games, the mini games in this game, which is ridiculous, but it's whatever. I mean, I got the achievement anyways. And then, of course, I love talking about these subjects because these are crazy topics to talk about, but also very, like, interesting to kind of go about, because I think these things are really, like, cool to talk about because they're, like, I think I see some of it in, not in my workplace, but in my school that I've worked with. Like, I see that kind of, like, feeling kind of thing, and I've also keep up with news about, like, tech and stuff like that, so it kind of relates to my field as well. So it's kind of really cool to think about it and see all the things come together and kind of see the relations and everything else. But yeah, anyways, other than that, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Roz out.